Hey folks, and welcome to Pixelator's Top 5 Most Realistic Skateboarding Sim Games as of March 2023. Although never being able to successfully skateboard myself, due to being rather plump and uncoordinated as a kid, I have always had great admiration and respect by the people I knew who could skateboard well. It's just truly one of the most amazing things ever to watch. With that being said, I admit that I don't know all the names and actions of all the different possible tricks that can be done on a skateboard. However, I do really enjoy playing skateboard simulation games regardless. What I do know, however, is what is and what isn't realistic when it comes to skateboarding games. So let's take a look at the top 5 most realistic skateboarding sim games out there today. Starting at number 5, we have Skate City from 2021. This is the only 2.5D game on the list, which does limit the realism a bit, but is still quite realistic and deserves a spot on this list. This is a pretty fast-paced one-directional side-scrolling skating title. Despite its not so detailed graphics, Skate City does provide a solid skating feel and a unique skateboarding experience. While cruising along a number of different iconic locations, you are able to perform most all skateboarding tricks and maneuvers that you can do in more advanced skating sims. Although you can't actually get off your skateboard in this game, the wipeouts are pretty cool, and your character even goes ragdoll too. This is a very fun title for some quick, semi-realistic skateboarding action for sure. Next at number 4 we have True Skate from 2022. This title actually stems from the 2012 mobile game of the same name, but has a number of improvements for the recent console and PC releases. True Skate offers decent looking graphics and environments, however skate areas are rather small for an open world game like this really. Board control is fairly realistic and extensive, but I must say the gamepad controls in this title are quite convoluted when compared to the other games on this list. The biggest problem with the realism of the game though becomes very apparent in the rather glitchy physics. As you can see, it takes a lot to actually knock your character off the board, which makes the game just not feel right, as you don't ever really get that good solid feeling of landing a trick realistically. Your character also can't exit the board to walk around, so you can't easily get to many areas of the already small maps. You can technically fall off your board and go ragdoll, but only on super hard falls only. Otherwise, you can't get your character to fall off the board even if you try. The game looks to have potential to be a good sim game eventually, but in its present state anyways, I'd have to say that the negatives unfortunately outweigh the positives in this simulation skateboarding title. So stay tuned for some better options coming right up next. Stepping up to number 3, we have Skate 3 from 2010. You simply can't talk about skateboarding sim games without mentioning the game series that made it all famous, which was the Skate series. Skate 3 was the latest entry in this series and was by far the best sim skateboarding game out there for nearly a decade. Some would even say it's still the best. This game gives you a huge map to skate on, which is a whole city called Port Carverton. And this skater's dream of a city is packed full of some of the most epic obstacles and skate parks imaginable. There's even other skaters, pedestrians, and traffic running around on the map with you as well. And if you've grown tired of walking up a hill to get to your favorite skate spot, you can always grab onto the back of a vehicle and ride it up Marty McFly style. The game physics are excellent and very realistic for its time. You can even hop off your board and run up large flights of stairs to get to some really awesome skate areas. As for wipeouts, not only does your character go full ragdoll, but it can also even go X-ray to show all the bones you just busted upon your fall, and even get points for breaking more bones for the Hall of Meat scoreboard, which is quite hilarious. There are some truly extreme fall heights in this game too, when like jumping off this high stairwell for instance, which can lead to breaking many bones. You can perform most basic skateboarding tricks in this title, however controls are a bit more limited than in more true simulator focused skateboarding games to come on this list. Yes, the graphics may be dated now, but this title still provides a really enjoyable balance of simulation physics and user-friendly fun that any skateboarding fan will still enjoy today. There's also talk that Skate 4 is set to release later this year, so keep an eye out for that, folks. Taking the sim notch up a level to number 2, we have Skater XL from 2020. This title is more along the lines of what a really good skateboarding simulator should be. The game has decent graphics, great physics, and proper individual foot control to achieve full maneuverability on your board as well. There are multiple medium-sized maps available to skate on, and all are set up well for some serious skateboarding action. Messing up the landing of a trick will promptly knock you off your skateboard too, and your character does go full ragdoll in a realistic manner. Your character can't actually exit the skateboard to walk around, however you can set a session marker most anywhere, which will spawn you right to the spot that you want, so that's good at least. This title provides a very satisfying and realistic feel when you pull off a trick you've been working on successfully. About the only thing missing in the game really is that there's not a lot of settings you can change in your riding setup, which is kind of limiting. Regardless, this is one of the better skating sims out there today and a favorite among many skate game fans, so you'll definitely want to check this one out, folks. At the number 1 spot we have Session Skate Sim from 2022. This title was actually first available in early access form back in 2019, but became a full release game in 2022. This is by far the most realistic skateboarding sim to date. The graphics, physics, and board control are excellent and are as realistic as it gets for a skateboarding game, folks. The map is essentially various spots around New York City, so it's plenty large with lots of ground to be covered. There's also an extensive range of customizable settings available so you can adjust both your board and the game's physics behavior in general to your liking, which is quite impressive stuff. The slightest mistake when trying to land a trick will cause you to go flying off your board and go full ragdoll in a more realistic looking way than in other titles mentioned here. You can hop off your board at any time to walk or run around, and also set session markers anywhere you like to, so you can really make full use of the high detail map areas. Much as in real life, pulling off cool tricks in this game is quite difficult and will take many tries to get it right. However, that fact makes actually landing a trick that you're working on feel oh so incredibly satisfying once you do. So if you're after the truly most realistic skateboarding simulator out there today, then Session Skate Sim is where you'll find it. Well, there you have it, folks. I hope you liked this video, and if you have, make sure to hit that subscribe button.